Welcome to the Massachusetts School of Law Educational Forum. Thank you for joining us. This program is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law and is shown nationwide. I am Diane Sullivan, your host for today's program. Our topic is women's college basketball. In the hour that follows, we'll talk with players, coaches, and the assistant athletic director from the Merrimack Women's College Basketball Program. They made their way to the Final Four last year. Let's reflect on that victory. Joining me now is Ann McInerney, who is the coach of the women's basketball program here at Merrimack College. Ann, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like to coach the women here at Merrimack College.
Well, it's been a tremendous experience for both myself and our program here. We had a great season. You know, we won the Northeast 10 championship, won the Northeast Regional Championship, qualified for the Elite Eight out in Missouri, and made it to the Final Four of our Division II program.
And what an exciting year it was.
It sure was. You know, we had a lot of great kids. We had a lot of good focus. Our team motto was one team, one heart, and you know, it took us as far as we could go.
Tell us about that phenomenal season last year.
We had a group of individuals that within my tenure here have come in and really dedicated themselves again to getting better, to really putting their effort in, you know, committing on the court, off the court, and you know, really the pieces fell together this year. You know, we had 6 seniors, 3 juniors, 1 sophomore, and 2 freshmen who, you know, came in and wanted to win the Northeast 10 championship, wanted to work hard to win the regional championship, and eventually made it out to the Elite Eight and ended up, you know, ending the season as the national semifinalist.
Just unbelievable. Small town, North Andover, Merrimack College, all the way to the Final Four. Just terrific. Tell me, what did it take to bring the team to that level? It happened under your direction.
I think we have a lot of unselfish players. I think from the beginning, you know, our team motto this year was one team, one heart. You know, it was all about what was going to be best for the team. You know, individuals sacrificed a lot of their own performances, their own statistics in order to make sure that the team won. You know, we put a great emphasis on our team defense, our team offense, and you know, it really, you know, shone through in the end.
Isn't that a key? Women are less inclined to worry about their own achievement and are able more to focus on team achievement. Is that your experience?
I think, you know, coaching women, you know, I think it's a little bit different. You know, you deal with a lot more emotional stuff with the, you know, they're 18 to 22-year-old young women away from home for the first time. You know, they have their academic background, they have their social lives, and now you try to put them together to piece a team together, you know, and with the bunch of girls that we had, they really, really focused on doing what was best for the team.
What do you believe are some of the benefits to the girls who play on the women's basketball team?
I think, you know, going out to recruit the student athletes that we recruited, we first looked for girls with good character, good work ethic, you know, a strong fundamentals involved in their overall aspect of their lives, you know, and we were able to put that into our team, and you know, it built. You know, we started off with this group, you know, as freshmen they won 12 games, sophomores another 12, and then as juniors we finished 21-9, lost in the regional semifinals, you know, and as their senior year came around, they really refocused and, you know, put in the time in the off season to make sure that we were gonna, you know, do our best to make it back to the regional semifinals and then, you know, go beyond that.
What drives them?
I think their individual goals, I think team goals, I think the fulfillment and what it takes to, the hard work that goes in, and you know, you see the winning attitude, the tradition that we've now built here at Merrimack. You know, we started here with not a lot of people in the stands, and now all of a sudden the regional championship game, it was standing room only. You know, we cut down the nets to win the Northeast 10 championship and the regional championship in front of a packed house, and I think that really makes it something special for the girls.
I came over to some of the games. How exciting. It was tremendous to see. Plus you paid to get in, and I thought, hallelujah, you know, women are bringing in revenue. It's a great thing.
Yeah, and the community support that we had here at Merrimack within the college, you know, in the community, the local media, you know, I think it became almost a must-see tradition that was going on here. People started talking. We started off 5-0, 6-0. Then we went to, we were constantly winning throughout the season, and then it became the show to go to in town. We were fortunate enough to win the regular season championship, which enabled us to host the conference tournament. 4 teams within our conference. Then we won that championship, and we were able to host the Northeast Regional the following weekend. 3 nights of a packed house that was really great, not only for Merrimack but for female athletics in general.
Yes, it is. It's just a wonderful thing. And tell us a little bit about your own career. You were a superstar out at Assumption College in Worcester. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think I'm originally from Worcester. I grew up, watching, college basketball sparingly. It wasn't really on television as much as it is now, but, my goal was to go to Assumption. I loved the school. I loved the basketball program, so I actually attended Assumption without an athletic scholarship, made the team as a walk-on.
Honestly.
Made the team as a walk-on. I think the work ethic that, my parents instilled in me, every day I worked, towards a goal. I earned an athletic scholarship and was able to finish up with a great career there.
You set some records.
I did.
Tell us about them.
It was
brag a little.
Again, it was, I think, the work ethic and the sacrifice that you put into making yourself be the best player that you can be. And I think I was very driven. That's the way I was brought up. And I know that I had certain goals, and I wanted to be an all-conference player, and I ended up being that as a junior, and then was the player of the year as a senior. And I think in this conference and with the growing popularity of women's basketball at the time, it was a great achievement, and something that, I still cherish.
Tell me, is athletics for girls, young girls I'm talking about, we're here during camp week, is it part of their culture today? Are girls shooting hoop at the neighborhood playground?
Absolutely. I think it's a lot different. It's grown so much in the last 10 years. We're in our 2nd year here of running camp just for girls, and it's grown tremendously. We have almost, 200 more kids than we had last year at this time, So I think the success of the program, I think now girls are becoming more involved at a younger age. I think everybody realizes, how important it is, to teach young girls about, taking pride in themselves and, being athletic and being, how it develops so much character throughout their years.
Tell me a little bit about the difference in basketball between a men's program and a women's program. How are they different? How are they the same?
I think honestly you cannot compare. You cannot compare the two. I think the men's game is at an all-time high as far as athleticism. They play the game above the ring, above the rim. There's a lot of slam dunking. There's a lot of athleticism.
Right.
Where I think, our women's game now is a lot more like the men's game used to be.
Of the 50s.
Exactly. You rely a lot more on teamwork. You rely on, your own offensive ability. Yet, the team frame. You have to run offenses. You have to, be able to, pass the ball very well. And I think it's more of a team game than the men's game is right now.
Don't you find that men and women alike, and I'm talking about spectators, are coming to prefer the women's version because of the emphasis on skill as opposed to simply speed and strength?
Right. I think you hear that a lot. I think from the old timers, you hear that our game is a lot like the men's game used to be. I don't think it takes nothing away from the men's game. We're a different product right now. And I think when you see the young girls in the stands and they now want to grow up and be like a Megan Leary or a Jenny Smith, the kids that play on our team, I think that gives them aspirations and goals that they now achieve, that they don't have to try to be like Larry Bird or Magic Johnson's. It's now more, girls that they see and they see firsthand that they want to grow up and be like.
Do the young women today struggle with America's ideal woman? We still, as a society, sometimes don't want women to be strong. We want them to be docile and very feminine. Is that a conflict for the women that play the game?
No, I think self-confidence is probably the best way to put it. I think, you watch girls now that grow up and they're athletic and they're, they work on all their skills and they're more outgoing and they're more comfortable with their own bodies, and I think they see that on television and they see the Rebecca Lobos and the Mia Hamms and, now they're seeing it in their own backyard that these are great role models that they want to grow up to be like, and to be successful in the classroom, on the court and, furthermore, when they graduate, go out and get good jobs
absolutely wonderful time for girls to get involved in athletics.
Definitely.
Now, final question that I have for you. What do you see the face of professional sports to be like in year 2025?
And I think, obviously with the WNBA now for the professional women's basketball, and with, the all the excitement that went on with the Olympic soccer team,
Yeah.
And when they won the gold medal, and now you have young girls that want to grow up to be like that. I think the more that they can continue to get some, coverage, and they get excited about female professional sports, I think it's only going to continue to grow.
Will we have parity among men and women as well as coaches? Will there be salary parity as well as notoriety?
I hope so, and I think that, it continues to grow, each year, from when I was a player to now as a coach, that at Merrimack College we are treated, the same across the board, and that's, I think that's a very good opportunity. Strike that. I think that's a good example of how men's and women's sports have grown together.
That's terrific news. It's not like that everywhere, though.
No, it's not.
Do you think there is adequate opportunity for the everyday girl who's not a superstar, who's not going to be one of your 12 players, but who nonetheless wants the benefits of the game?
Absolutely, and I think being a part of a team, no matter what role you have, you are a part of a team, and I think, with us this season and having 12 individual players be a part of a team, they all had a hand in what we've done. It wasn't the leading scorer, it wasn't the best player, it was kind of the whole team approach to what went on, and that's what makes being, a part of a team and in a sport so exciting.
What's next for you? What's on the horizon?
This year we made it to the national semifinals, ended up in the Final Four. Our goal is to win a national championship, and as our kids continue to work hard and stay committed and stay focused, I think that's very possible.
Well, that will be a great day. Ann, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Joining me now is Megan Leary, one of the co-captains of the women's basketball program here at Merrimack College. Megan, an incredible season. Tell us what it was like to go to the Final Four.
It was probably one of the things that I've dreamed about all my life. Just going out there and having the intensity, be there in the atmosphere, and just getting to play in like a huge arena with 12 of my best friends was just unbelievable.
Now, I understand that you were a walk-on to this program. Tell us about that.
I really wanted to come play Division II basketball, so I came here. I like the coaches and I like the school, so I came here and I wanted to play, so I just worked hard and things just happened, I guess.
How long have you been playing hoop?
I started playing when I was in 7th grade, so about 10 years.
And tell me a little bit about that. What was it like to play basketball as a young girl?
I just played on like a rec team, so it wasn't that serious. Practiced a couple times a week, and people were just, weren't really that interested in it, so it was just us playing for ourselves. So.
Did you play high school basketball?
Yep, I played in high school.
Good for you. Now tell me, what benefits did you get playing basketball as a young girl growing up and as a woman here at Merrimack College?
I think when I was younger, it just, it made going into high school that much easier. You had just all your new friends were always around you, so you got to meet new people. I think it definitely taught me a lot about confidence and just kind of a lot of determination, things like that.
Do you believe that women are more focused on team achievement as opposed to individual achievement, and that's why women's basketball programs for women can be just a wonderful thing?
I think that everybody wants individual achievements, but especially in the women's game and with our team, it was just more about how well the team did. So there were some sacrifices that were made with people that could have been better, could have done more things individually, but the team game is a big part of Merrimack and of women's basketball. So,
how is the women's program different than the men's program?
Just basically that. I think it's focused a lot more on your team chemistry and your team, your plays and just how well you work together and pass the ball. Whereas in a guys program, I think it's more I mean, they have such incredible athletic ability that it's naturally more a one-on-one game for them.
Greater speed for the men, greater strength, and does that change the game somehow?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, they can jump higher, they can, they're stronger. I mean, no doubt about that, but, it's all relative to.
Well, I don't know. I sat in the stands, Megan, and you look pretty fast and pretty strong to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Do you spend much time doing strength training? Do you lift weights and the like?
We definitely, in a college program, it's all year round you lift, so you're going to be stronger and faster.
Do you think American society today wants women to be strong, or are they trying to keep women in a docile, feminine, graceful role? Do you struggle with those issues?
I think that just women are kind of like breaking out, and it's becoming more.
Hallelujah, Megan.
It's becoming more natural for people to see, women at the gym and women lifting and women running and women playing sports, and it's become accepted.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for you? What's on the horizon?
Well, I have a job, and I'm going to be helping coach basketball still. So
Wonderful.
Yep.
Tell us about your job.
I'm doing financial planning.
Good.
Yep, so it's a lot of sales. Kind of takes a lot of confidence, so I kind of can relate that back to basketball. I definitely have learned a lot from that standpoint, and that's helped me in my job. And
So it's wonderful. You got a good education and you went to the Final Four. What could be better?
nothing.
Megan, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
Integrity first. Service before self. Excellence in all we do. These are not just words. These are our core values. Values by which each and every member of the Air Force Reserve lives. So whether we are deploying humanitarian aid or providing natural disaster relief, or defending freedom wherever it's threatened, the men and women of the Air Force Reserve are there, protecting our values and serving our country. Air Force Reserve, above and beyond.
There is strength in our numbers. Our call is to action, to practice what we preach. Be there to care. Our passion is compassion. We're only human, but together we're humane. Our letters stand for taking a stand, for taking the lead, for filling the need. The American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Be part of our heart.
Exercise your emotions. Attend a live orchestra concert. Go to findaconcert.com.
Joining me now is Kathy Carlson, the Associate Head Coach of the Women's Basketball Program here at Merrimack College. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Pleasure
you
to
for
be here.
joining us. Tell us what it was like coaching the women's team here last year. An incredible season.
Probably the highlight of my career. Even as a former player, I think this particular group of kids was a tremendous group. They had great chemistry. They worked extremely hard. It's a group actually that is the first recruiting class that we brought here to Merrimack College. To see them achieve so much success was phenomenal.
Well, my hat's off to you and Ann. You did
Thank you.
a super job.
Thank you very much.
What's on the horizon for next year?
On the horizon for next year, we actually have three returning players who are extremely strong for us, our three leading scorers. And then we have a couple other kids who were role players last year who hopefully will step up into a stronger role. And 6 incoming freshmen, so we'll be busy.
Are there special or unique issues dealing with women as athletes as opposed to men?
I don't know as unique. I think that the women's athlete today is kind of a special person. There aren't as many opportunities for women to continue on at the next level. There are some students who can go on and play in Europe, and there are some students who can go on and play at the professional level, but for us, most of our students are going to go off into careers after they play basketball, so these 4 years are really special for them.
What do you see are the benefits for a young woman playing, college sports like basketball?
I think for them, it allows them to connect with the campus. They are a representation of Merrimack College. They're out in the limelight. They're role models for young kids.
Yeah.
I think it's a really special time to be a women's basketball player.
Tell us a little bit about your own background playing ball.
I played at the University of Maine, up in Orono, where it's very cold.
Yeah.
And I've coached at 3 different schools at 3 different levels. I was an assistant coach at Brandeis University, an assistant coach at Boston University, and then I ended up here at Merrimack College.
And you love it. It's
I love
obvious.
It. Yes, I love it. I love it here. Merrimack College is a terrific place to work. Certainly recruiting here has been very special for us. It's a tremendous place. The people here are great. The students here are great. So we've had great support.
It's a wonderful school from what I can see.
It is a wonderful school.
And what I love about it is you have legitimate students here. They're in the classroom, they're studying, and then they're practicing.
Right. It's a full-time job for these kids. As much as we have expectations for them on the court, we have expectations for them in the classroom. We have expectations for them socially. I mean, they're not just another student on campus. They're so-and-so who's on the women's basketball team. They're very well known here. So, they have a certain level that they need to achieve as a student on this campus.
Do you feel that the women's program gets adequate media coverage?
I think in the last couple of years we have. The Eagle Tribune, which is right across the street, has done a terrific job for us in the media. We have write-ups about every single game. We've had more TV coverage over the last couple of years. I mean, I think as much as you want to get involved in the community, then the community will get back involved with you. So
that's right.
For us, it's been a way of giving back. So that's been good.
And you're doing a camp here for young girls.
Yes, we are. We're in our 2nd week.
And that's a great thing.
Yes, it's great. It's a great way for us to get out in the community again. It's a great way to showcase our program. All of our kids are here working. Unfortunately, we only have 6 returning, so our numbers are a little bit small this year in terms of staffing with our own players. But it gives the kids in the community a chance to watch them play, a chance to watch them coach, hopefully grow up and they want to be like them.
Are little girls today playing hoop at the neighborhood playground?
I think so. I mean, I think, unfortunately, so many families are now involved in team sports and they take their kids, to team sport activities.
Yeah.
There aren't as many kids who just get out and play tag and, go outside and play in the backyard. However, I think women's basketball with the movement, with the WNBA, with certainly the success of a New England team like the University of Connecticut, I think you have a lot more kids in New England who are interested in basketball.
Wonderful to see.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the difference as you see it between the women's game and the men's game.
The women's game and the men's game, certainly the men individually are a little bit more athletic. It can tend to be a little bit more of a one-on-one game because they have so many skilled athletes. For us, it's getting to that level. We have more athletic girls who are playing basketball, but it certainly, and at Merrimack College, we're more of a team atmosphere. Our strategy is to beat people with a team, not with an individual. So for us, I mean, it's all inclusive. In the men's game, sometimes I think it can be a little bit more individualized.
Could some of your best women play with the men?
I think some of them could. I don't know that they would achieve star status, but I think they could hold their own. Especially with the weight conditioning and the year-round training that they do now, I think physically they'd have a better chance than they did, say, 10 years ago.
I know I should ask them this, but do they like lifting weights? Do they like being physically strong?
Some of them do. No,
Others you have to push.
exactly. I mean, I think everybody has their own strength. Genetically, some kids are a little bit more gifted in the weight room than others.
Yep.
Genetically, some are better runners than others. But I think for the most part, if we can get them to do the the court training that they need to do, they know that it will benefit them on the court.
I'm impressed with this program because I live right near here. Good. So I see your gals running by my house. You know, I see them in the YMCA at the weight room, and I know they're doing their work. And
Right.
it's a great thing for me to see.
Again, I think our expectations for them are very high. I think their own expectations of each other are very high. So if someone goes home for the summer and doesn't do what they need to do to come back and be in the best shape possible, that hurts the team. So I think for them, we finally have a group of kids that they push each other. It's not just the coaches saying, get in the weight room, get out and run. It's they push each other and they really want to be good. So they know, you know, they don't want to hurt their teammates.
What's next on the horizon for you?
Next on the horizon for me or for the team?
For you personally.
You know, I'm very happy where I am.
That's great.
I think,
And it's obvious.
Yes, you know, I think it's been a great experience for me to be an assistant coach here. I actually have taken on some administrative duties in the athletic department, so I've had a chance to dabble in a couple different careers while I've been here. But again, I think Merrimack College is a terrific place to work.
Turn the calendar forward, if you will. It's year 2025, and I asked Ann this. What do you see women doing in terms of coaching, in terms of professional teams, as well as at the college level?
Well, I hope they're bigger. You know, I hope we see some, you know, really talented 6'3", 6'4" kids, maybe women having the ability to dunk. I mean, I think that would be exciting if the game got to the level where we had some bigger kids. I'd also like to see, you know, basketball at every level improve, you know, from elementary school all the way up through. I'd like to see it improve for everybody.
Are spectators willing to pay to watch women play?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think it depends on your community. But in this community, people are great. People are interested in Merrimack College. They're interested in how well we're doing. And, you know, for the most part, I think it's entertainment.
It's
People will come out.
exciting.
Exactly.
Well, I thank you so much for joining me, spending this time with us. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Joining me now is Colleen Carboni. Welcome to the show. You
Thank you.
played on this division-winning team last year.
Yeah, it
What
was
was
great.
that like?
It was just a great experience. I mean, the girls were like great. I came in here, I transferred from Division I, so I came in here for 1 year as a senior, and these girls were very welcoming. The coaches, the whole staff, the whole school was very welcoming, and it just made the experience so much better.
Tell me about that. You left as a starting point guard. I understand you scored 1,000 points. Is that right?
Oh, I was on track to score 1,000 points.
Wow.
Didn't quite get there, but yeah, I knew I wanted to come closer to home and be part of a winning program. My high school team was great. I was from Nashua, New Hampshire. Great community, the big crowds all the time, and we did really well, and we were very successful. And I went away to school, and it just wasn't really what I wanted. It took me a few years to figure it out, and you know, I wanted to come back near home and play in front of my family. It's great following the community. And I knew some of the girls here because I worked at camp here a few years ago, and I knew the coaches, so I was comfortable. I played with Megan Leary and Christina Saragusa against them in high school, so I was familiar with some of the players. We just happened to have a great year.
And that's key. Everybody wanted to win.
Yep. It was stress from day one we got here preseason. We knew what we wanted to do. You know, we were all on the same page. We pushed each other along the whole way, and everyone played their role. So, I mean, we were led by two great captains, and they pushed everyone every day, and you know, everyone followed. So we knew what we were on track to do.
I live locally. I see you out running the streets. I see the girls in the weight room. I think that's great. A lot of hard work, though.
Yeah, definitely, like day in and day out. You know, it's not like the same as a normal student. You know, we have to keep a certain grade point average, so we have to work out in the morning usually. You know, go to class, come back. It's, you know, you learn time management very quickly in classes and athletically.
What are the benefits to playing, whether it be college basketball, whether it's soccer, but being involved in team sports at a college level? What are the benefits for all the hours that you invest in?
Well, first of all, you find a great group of friends. I mean, our team was, as I said before, great. You have 12 friends on and off the court all the time. And also in the classroom, time, as I said before, time management, it just sets your standards, you know, high all the time. You always want to strive. You always set goals. In sports, you learn to set goals, and I find you do the same in like everyday life things. You want to reach your goal, you know, whether they're long term or short term.
And I understand you had to jump through hoops to achieve your academic goals here. You had to carry a ton of classes.
Yeah, I mean, I had to make some sacrifices coming here, but I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I knew we were going to have a great season. I mean, the team was great, the coaches were great, and I knew they were very welcoming, so I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I was comfortable coming here. You know, I wasn't exactly sure how my role in the team was going to be played out, but I knew I wanted to be part of something great, so that's why I chose
So what's
it.
up for you next?
Well, I wanted to coach, you know, doing all these camps all summer. I've been doing camps since like high school, teaching the girls. I think it's great for the girls to look up to the college players as role models, and it's very important. And I've always wanted to coach, so I'm actually going to be the graduate assistant at University of New Hampshire, and hopefully from there I'll go somewhere else and just keep coaching for a while. 'Cause I
Oh,
really
that's
enjoy it.
wonderful. I hope you do that.
Thank you.
What are the benefits to young girls playing sports?
Well, it always keeps them involved in a team. You know, they always have something to do, somewhere to go, people they know everywhere. And also, as I think Eileen said before, their confidence and self-esteem goes way up, you know, and that carries over in all aspects of life, you know, whether it's in the classroom, giving presentations, or, you know, just hanging out with your friends. I feel like you get more vocal and, you know, have more of an opinion, and you're more confident to say what you feel.
Tell me a little bit about your perception of the difference between the men's game and the women's game.
Well, playing the women's game, I feel like it's more team-oriented. I played below the rim, as it's called. You know, it's not, girls obviously aren't as athletic and strong, so we focus on different things. I mean, I've played pickup with guys, and it's a lot different than playing pickup with girls, you know. But there are definitely some differences, but there are a lot of similarities as well.
And do you find that the public at large is very supportive of team sports for women?
Yeah, I think definitely, especially around here in Merrimack, everyone's been great. Playing in front of these big crowds, just, you know, the adrenaline gets going, and, you know, you're ready to play. So I think it's great, especially at Merrimack, and I had the same thing at home, so it just makes you want to play even more when there's bigger crowds.
And do you think it's socially acceptable today for women to be strong and not docile and feminine and all those things?
Oh, definitely. It's become a part of the game. You know, if you want to compete, you have to, you know, be as strong as everyone else, and, you know, that all goes in with giving up your time to do that. Basketball is just not playing basketball. It's a lot of other things involved.
Well, I can't thank you enough for spending this time with
Thank
us.
you.
Best of luck to you.
Thank
Keep
you.
at it.
Thank you.
Joining me now is Kristen Quist from the Merrimack Girls, women's, I should say, college basketball team.
Hello.
Hello. You had a terrific season last year. Tell us a little bit about that, what it was like.
Oh, it was amazing. It was really, really fun. We did a lot of cool stuff last year.
And you went to the Final Four.
Yep, we went to Missouri, went to Mizzou, as we called it, and we played in the Elite Eight in the Final Four.
And were the stands packed?
Yeah, they were pretty packed.
Yeah, that's a wonderful sign for women's athletics.
Oh, it certainly was. It was awesome.
Tell me, what have the benefits been for you in playing college basketball?
For me, it was always a dream of mine to, you know, play college ball. So, yeah, I don't know, it was always just a dream, and to finally get here. I only have 1 year left. That's so hard to believe, but it was always a dream. It was something I've always wanted to do, and you know, basketball seemed to be my ticket. So.
If it was a dream, how did you make it reality? What went into it?
Oh, weekend upon weekend of AAU tournaments. No, just a lot of practice and stuff. You know, trying to play as much as I can when I was little, and try to find good competition from where I was from to play with, so I could get better. And
did you play against the boys growing up?
Yeah, I actually started out on a boys team with my brother because we didn't have one. So I played with boys for a while, and then girls basketball got a lot more interest in my area. So then we had a girls team, and then girls travel team, and then middle school and high school girls team. So.
Can women compete with the men?
On the basketball court?
Yeah.
Physically, probably not, just because most are a lot bigger and stronger than us. But skill-wise, I think women have a pretty good skill set. So.
Don't you think that some people are really coming to prefer the women's version, because you do emphasize skill over strength?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you think of the NBA, it's a lot of flashy, you know, one-on-one basketball. But women's basketball is a lot more. I don't know what the word is, but it's just, you know, technical skill. Yeah, skillful, and it's nicer to watch. It's prettier to watch. You know, I don't know. I find it more interesting. I know a lot of people don't, but
Do you think the media coverage is adequate for the women's game?
I think there could be more. I mean, more often than not, if you flip on a channel, it's going to be a men's NBA game. I mean, you got to look for those the women's games. But I mean, I think it's definitely gotten better. I mean, as I've gotten older and watched more of it, it's definitely more there. It's more apparent than it used to be. So.
Who were your role models growing up?
For basketball?
For basketball
Yeah.
or other sports?
Probably the one person I used to watch a lot was Rebecca Lobo. I was always a UConn fan. I actually got to meet her once, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'd probably say her if I had to pick one person.
Now tell me, what are the benefits for young girls being involved in sports, in your opinion?
I just think it's a great way to grow up. I mean, you always have something to do. Like, I always had stuff to do after school, you know, and I think it was a good form of discipline. Like, you go to school, you know, you do your homework, you play sports, you get home at dinner time, you know, then you can relax. Like, it just was a nice way for me to, like, be busy and stay busy and stuff.
So what's next for you?
Well, got one great year ahead of me, so we'll see where that goes. And after that, I don't know. Keeping my options open. Maybe work, maybe traveling somewhere. I don't know.
Well, whatever you do, we wish you the very best of things to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jeff. No, I'm still at the train station. I just almost got killed. Yeah, about 10 minutes ago. I'm still shaking. Well, I got off the 940 and Jill called. Yeah, it was raining, and so I put the newspaper over my head. I forgot my umbrella, and I didn't want to go walk over the overpass. And then I heard the whistle and the light. I was walking right into a train. This guy, he pulled me back.
Look, listen, and live, or someone you love will get hurt.
I just almost died.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? To a place 6,000 miles from home? And how long would you go? Would you go for a week? A month? A year? Would you go for 2 years? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone, and in the process, maybe learn something yourself? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Joining me now is Tom O'Brien, Assistant Athletic Director and the Sports Information Director here at Merrimack College. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tom, from your perspective as an athletic director, is the women's basketball program here successful?
It's absolutely successful on a number of different levels. We define success as far as our programs go in a number of different ways. Obviously, their on-the-court success that most people have heard about this year was
phenomenal
tremendous.
season.
Just unbelievable. Somewhat of a surprise, but not really that they made it that far when you think of the group that's worked behind the scenes and made that program what it is. So on the court, as you may have mentioned, they made it to the Final Four, and just a tremendous season for them, set all sorts of records. But also, we couldn't be happier with the group of girls that Coach McInerney's assembled. We want our athletes to represent us in the best way possible, both on campus and off campus. And she has just got a tremendous group of girls that conduct themselves, with the utmost respect for everyone. And it's just a super program she's running.
Aren't they wonderful? And I mean, to see what's going on here at the college today, all the young tykes in here dreaming to be basketball players, it's a wonderful thing to see.
It's exciting. Camp week's exciting. And to have a group of girls running the camp, a group of women they are now, as role models for these kids growing up. They set a tremendous example. And if I had children, I wouldn't want them to go anywhere else.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. In my day, I shouldn't age myself on TV at least, but I am. There were not great women athletes that were team players. Unless you were going to figure skate or you were going to play tennis or maybe golf, you didn't have anybody you could look up to.
I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the growth of women's sports now, is that young women do have women athletes to look up to now.
Right, they can dream.
Exactly. You mentioned the camp. I mean, these girls coming in here and can see, you know, like a Megan Leary, who they may have seen on TV this year. And they can look up to her and learn from her. And then you're looking at the professional athletes now that are getting quite a bit more media coverage and quite a bit more famous now.
Right.
These girls have someone to look up to now.
Tell me a little bit about the differences in the program, the men's program versus the women's program.
Well, I think there's always going to be differences. I think the men are certainly more athletic, and I think they play the game that way. Seems at times to be more individual efforts, whereas the women's game can be more of a team approach. And I think the women's game is more like the men's game used to be. And I think
that's right.
Yeah.
Now, do spectators pay to see the women's game just like they do the men's game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think success, you know, breeds big crowds. We certainly had some of the biggest crowds we've ever had here this year for our women's games. Throughout the playoff run, we had standing room only in that gym, something that hasn't happened here since our men's team made it to the playoffs, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, some of the biggest crowds we've ever had here for any sporting event were for our women's basketball team this year.
Are there different issues when you have a successful women's program than a men's program?
I don't think so. I think it's treated mainly the same. You know, they're both at the Division II level. There's a lot of similarities between the two, but there's also a lot of differences. But as far as success goes, I think it's treated in a very, very similar manner.
And you were an athlete as a kid growing up. What are the benefits to kids playing college sports or even youth sports?
Well, I know at the college level, and it's somewhat at the high school level, I think the biggest benefit I ever got out of it was commitment, for one, and the things that go along with commitment. Time management is something that comes to mind. In college, you're in such a strict schedule. I mean, the classes, the schoolwork can be so overbearing. But I think being on an athletic team, you're in a more structured environment where, you know, say you have to go to practice in the morning before class, or you get up for breakfast, go to class, study, go to practice, study again. You're in a more structured environment, and I think that helps for success in the classroom as well as on the court.
Keeps them out of trouble too, doesn't it?
It does. We hope so.
Yeah, anyway. Why do you think that post-adolescent females tend to drop out of organized sports or team sports?
Well, I certainly don't know any of the statistics or anything, but I got to think that's changing in the last few years with the opportunities that have grown at the college level and at the professional level. I got to think that's an ever-changing process now. Like I said, with the more opportunities that are available now, I think more women are staying in sports.
Do you think that sports participation now can be part of every girl's life in college, whether they're the superstar or somebody who just wants the benefits of playing on a team? Are there adequate programs for all women?
There are adequate programs. I think it depends on the school you go to, the level that school competes, the intercollegiate level that school competes at. As I mentioned, we're an NCAA Division II level school, so it takes a pretty high caliber athlete to participate at that level. But even here at Merrimack College, we have plenty of other opportunities on campus, such as intramurals. We have very popular intramural programs here where girls play basketball against each other, co-ed leagues, that sort of thing. there's other recreational opportunities just about on every campus in the country. So I think there's plenty of opportunities available, no matter what the level they want to compete.
Tom, thank you very much for spending this time with me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Okay, best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Joining me now is Eileen Brosnahan from the Merrimack College Women's Basketball Program. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to be a senior this year, but you had an incredible season last year. Tell us about that.
We had a great season last year with a great group of girls. We were a talented group, but we also were a really hard-working group. We all had the same goal and the same dream in mind, to really get as far as we could in the NCAA. We have a really competitive league, and we knew that coming into last year's season, we were going to have to work extra hard to make it to where we wanted to be. And fortunately, everybody just came through this year and really put this school on the map in terms of women's basketball.
Tell me, how long have you had this dream? Since you were this high, or
I think
recently?
so. It's always been my passion. I've always loved it, and I loved, the concept of just, being with a team on the court and, working towards, one goal. And especially, with this year coming with such high expectations, I felt, this was really something that we have the great chemistry that we could do, and we could really put this together, and we could really accomplish something if we all ended up playing our cards right, and it really worked out well.
Eileen, I understand that you had other options academically, but you chose Merrimack. Tell us a little bit about why you came here and what playing basketball has meant in your life.
Like you said, I did have a few options on where I could go, both academically and athletically, but when I came to Merrimack, I knew right away that they had what I had wanted academically. I'm a pre-med allied health major, and their department here is just great. The professors and everybody within that department is just great, and I've been able to really accomplish a lot of goals in that department also, while also achieving a lot of great things with a great group of girls we had here last year. So in both aspects, it's been a great experience. It's hard to believe that, it's almost over. So.
Well, academically, you certainly are a legitimate student. I understand you got a 4.0?
Yeah, the past semester, yeah. So.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, tell me, what role has playing basketball played in your life?
It's always been something where I could connect with the other people around me. The people on my team always, had the same goals. They always had the same type of work ethic that I did, always wanted to achieve the maximum that we could always achieve. And to be around those type of people and to be around those type of players and to have a team full of those people who want to achieve the same goal is, it's a part of my life. It's a huge part of my life. And every girl on the team plays a huge part of my life and has a special place in my heart.
Do you think that young girls today are also looking for the benefits of team sport?
I think so. I think it has a tremendous effect on the girls', confidence and self-esteem and everything. And they're looking at women just like us for inspiration to keep going, to say, she can do it, I can do it. And if she can, do well in school and play basketball, I can do it. And I think that's the biggest message, that you can play sports, but you also have to take care of it academically. So.
Do you follow pro women's sports?
I do. I follow not only the women's basketball, I also follow the women's tennis, and I follow, the women's track and field. I'm a big fan of that too. So you see it evolving everywhere, and I just hope it keeps going, because I think the women who compete are very deserving of it.
Do you think women's team sports get adequate media coverage, or does the media seem to focus in on the graceful, docile women games like golf and tennis?
I think it's come a long way to compare to where it used to be. You turn on the TV and you see the women's tennis is very well covered, and the women's basketball during the summer is very well covered. And I think we still have a long way to go, and I think we're on the right path with, the positive messages we're sending that's associated with women's sports. I think it's going to continue to grow and probably continue to get better. So.
Do girls think it's okay now to be strong?
I think so. I think there's, a very positive image associated with being strong and being a strong woman, on and off the court. and I think that's going to do nothing but positively influence all the
Why do you
girls.
think there's such a drop-off in post-adolescent females playing team sports and organized sports?
I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do, with image and, preconceived images of, playing a women's sport. And then usually once you get involved, you just see how much reward you can get out of it and how much positive you can get out of it and the bond that you form with so many other girls. I've played on so many teams, and I still can pretty much remember every girl that I've played with and, the great times that we've had together,
But
on
you
and off
have
the
to be
court.
willing to work hard.
Yes, there's no doubt about that, especially academically. If you can't take care of it academically, then the athletic part is, will come along down the line where, if you can't cut it academically, athletics is going to be hard.
So a busy life.
Yes, it is.
Which is
definitely.
good.
Yes. Yep.
Keeps you out of trouble.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell me, do you think women are more focused on team? They're willing to sacrifice individual achievement more, and that's why team sports are taking off for women?
I think so. And a prime example was our team this year. We had, a great motto, and our...
Tell us what it is.
Well, our team always came first, but we did for this year, it was one team, one heart. We were a team that set out to achieve so many different goals, and we're all in it together for the good and the bad, and for the great times and for the struggles, because every team together has struggles. And to come through and just, persevere and have the success we did, I think it's attributed to everybody on the team. So
Now, next year, you're a senior, your final year. What's on the horizon for you?
we have a great bunch of freshmen coming in to complement the great players that are left over from last year. We have, my two classmates, Jenny Smith and Kristen Quist, and we have great sophomores and also a great junior that's coming back, and we're looking forward to having a really talented class come in this fall. So definitely look for more of the success that we had last year. It's
And
exciting.
from what I can see, you have terrific coaches.
We do. We have great coaches, and just not on the court, but off the court. They're there for us no matter what, whether it be athletically, personally, academically. They're always there, and I think that really adds to the whole atmosphere and the environment of having such a great team that we have and we will have. So.
Well, I wish you all of the success personally and as a team, and good luck in whatever you take on next.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good defense. Joining me now is Jenny Smith. Jenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You had a terrific season last year. Tell us about that.
It was a great season. It was a lot of fun. It was like, we enjoyed it a lot. We had a lot of fun. The whole team was great. Won a lot. So.
Tell me about your personal success. You achieved all kinds of things. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I did, but I couldn't have done it without my team. They really helped me out a lot. So I improved this year, and hopefully I can improve a little bit next year too.
You have another year left.
Yes, I do.
What do you see on the horizon for the team next year?
Well, you never know. I mean, you got to take one game at a time. So we have a lot of good freshmen coming in and good players coming back. So we have good team chemistry already. So
A lot of hard work left,
Oh
though.
yeah, we still got to work it just as hard and even harder than last year. So we have to put in a lot of work.
What are the benefits to yourself and to other women that play college sports?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities now for women to play at a higher level than coming out of high school and stuff, more than there ever been. And even after college, it's a lot more opportunity.
How do you feel you've benefited? You've put in tremendous amounts of time. So what's the benefit?
Yeah, well, just getting an opportunity to come to college. I mean, I probably couldn't have done it without basketball. So, I mean, I've had great opportunities. So.
Are the opportunities equal for women and men today?
I don't know if they're equal, but I think they've closed the gap a lot, so much more than it's ever been. So.
That is good news.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me a little bit about how you see the differences in the men's game and the women's game.
Here at Merrimack? Or
yeah, here at Merrimack and even professionally, if you want to comment.
Well, there's a lot of media coverage with the men's basketball, NBA and stuff, but there's been a lot the WNBA. There's a lot more now than there ever used to be. So.
But not enough.
Not enough. I guess it's not equal, but I mean
it's getting
better. Yeah.
Do you ever have dreams of playing in the WNBA?
Yeah, I always have since I was little. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's hard work, you know. So I mean, I don't know if I could ever do it, but I mean that would be awesome. It's a great opportunity. So
Sure it is.
yeah.
Now, have you played basketball since you've been very little?
Yeah, well, I started like 7th grade, but
Mhm.
ever since then, and I have like older brothers that have helped me out, so I've just played with them all my life. So.
Can women play with men?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women that can. I've seen a lot of women that can. So.
Do you think that society still wants women to be, you know, weak and docile
Yeah.
and not aggressive?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a lot different now. I think women are a lot stronger than they have been. So.
And you're proud of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Jenny, we wish you all of the best.
Thank you.
Keep at it, and I'll look to see you in the WNBA.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us.
Good. Megan, replace yourself. Take your defender away. Now this is screen. Good, Jen. Good ball fake.
Well, that's our show on women's college basketball. I'm Diane Sullivan, and until next time, be well. Thanks for joining us.